some basic rights that allow for us to actually make change and be heard and share our ideas to actually contribute to making the world a better place. But I have some, I would like to interpret them the way I see them in my everyday life via the climate activism that I've been doing and everything. So, for example, Article 7 says that all are equal before the law. However, I would like to say that the reality is that we're not equal, because there are some few people that are actually destroying the planet via big corporations, and they're big polluters and everything, and they're actually in fact depriving everyone of a future, and the law does not protect humanity in this case. And then we have Article 12, which states that no one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to attacks upon his honor and reputation. However, anthropogenic climate change actually interferes with our family, our homes, our privacy, because homes are destroyed due to natural disasters, and many people actually find themselves displaced. And unfortunately, no one can actually prevent that. Also, there is Article 15, which states that everyone has the right to a nationality, but many speakers before me said that they were discriminated based upon their nationality. I've been discriminated a lot of times based on my nationality, based on my accent, based on everything. And now that the world, my thoughts is that now that the world is actually tending to globalization, now that we have many global international organizations, now that distances are very small because one can take the plane and travel to a different continent in just a few hours, I think that sticking to a nationality, like many different nationalities, that someone is Greek, someone might be Pakistani or Indian, is pointless, because that differentiates us. And I think it's rather peculiar that people tend to still discriminate rather than giving incentives to work together and beyond borders. And I think that what needs to be done is actually inspire the younger generation to start working together and start feeling like we're all part of a bigger community, a global community, and we're all actually global citizens, because we actually are, rather than focus on discriminating between based on racial factors, nationality factors, race, sex, and everything. And I would like to say that from my experience in the Fridays for Future movement, the youth has lost their voice. The youth, even though they've been striking, I've been striking for so long, we cannot be heard. And I think that it should be everyone's right to have a future and to not get their home destroyed due to natural disasters. And I think that the distinction between anthropogenic and natural climate change should be made. And we should hold the people responsible for the anthropogenic climate change, because otherwise we won't have the right to future. We won't be able to claim it. And from what I've seen, the COVID pandemic actually made things worse, because everyone was striking. I mean, they were getting tired, but everyone was striking, and there was a constant pace of strikes all around the world. But now the strikes are, unfortunately, they have to take an online form, and chatting online doesn't really make noise. It doesn't really affect the people who are not already involved. And unfortunately, people are getting tired. And I think that it is very important to help the youth acknowledge what power is actually given to them because of the human rights, and to acknowledge that, unfortunately, human rights do not grant everything, and it's in our hands to inspire and to help everyone to actually contribute to make a change in this. And strikes might not be enough in one case, discussions might not be enough, but it's still something, and everyone has to contribute, and the youth needs to be empowered, and the youth needs to take charge of what is going on, because we are the future generation. It's my generation that's going to vote for the next people in charge, And unfortunately, everyone is telling us no, and we try to strike, but then big corporations don't actually change anything. And there is personal responsibility, for example, and people do try to minimize their CO2 footprint. However, if I do minimize my carbon footprint personally, it's not going to make an actual change because there's the big corporations polluting everything. And I won't actually be able to make a difference. And it's all a bunch of confusion as it comes to this, like to what extent should I quit my studies to actually contribute for this planet. But I think that the important thing is that the human rights actually grant people help, and that's how, for example, Greta Thunberg was actually part of the United Nations conference, and so on and so forth. People have actually managed to be heard, but it's a matter of constant effort and a matter of feeling part of a community, because there is no place now for discrimination. There is no place to differentiate between people and nations, and nationalities, and religions. Now it's time for everyone to be together, everyone to embrace a global citizenship that we ought to have, because we all live in the same planet, and everyone should try to focus on our future, because it's our future. Unfortunately, it doesn't make a difference if Greece does well, or India does well, or a single country does well. One single country cannot save the planet, and one single person cannot change the planet either. So I think that it's a matter of collective effort and embracing what's already there, the human rights and the globalization of this world. That's it. Thank you so much, honestly.
Thank you, Miss